This is Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. On the show, we'll take your questions and give you the tools you need to build trust and intimacy with your partner. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor. I'm a registered clinical counsellor and psychotherapist, and I'm really passionate about helping couples navigate the challenges that we all go through. Because after all, every relationship encounters some stormy weather now and then. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask the Couples Counsellor. Today's episode is about the kind of grief that doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your sense of reality. When someone you once loved dies by suicide, the pain is layered, raw, and often silenced by shame and confusion. This episode isn't about tidy answers or quick fixes. It's about presence and holding space for the unbearable, about honoring love that didn't get closure, and about walking with you gently through the fog of grief. Because healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to carry what hurts without letting it define your worth or your future. All right, let's begin. Our first question for today comes from Paula in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Paula's question.
My ex-boyfriend recently died by suicide and I'm having a really hard time dealing with it. How do I deal with this pain and when will it stop hurting?
Firstly, Paula, I just want to say I'm deeply sorry for your loss. The grief you're carrying isn't just about losing someone. It's about losing someone you once loved, someone who was part of your emotional history. That kind of pain, it has layers. Shock, sorrow, guilt, anger, confusion, all tangled together in ways that no manual or timeline can tidy up. As a therapist, I've come to believe that this work isn't just about offering coping strategies or healing frameworks. It's about walking into the darkest trenches with others and staying. Being a therapist is a life of service to people in pain. And in moments like this, I'm reminded just how sacred that calling is. Because when someone is grieving, especially from a suicide loss, what they need most isn't advice, it's presence, it's validation. It's someone willing to say, this is going to hurt, maybe for a long while, but you don't have to carry it alone. Grief doesn't follow a straight path, it's tidal. One moment you're okay, the next you're drowning. And there is no timeline. But what I can tell you is that pain this sharp only exists where there was real connection. It will soften, not because you forget, but because your heart will learn how to hold it differently over time. The goal isn't to make it go away, but to let it reshape you into someone deeper, someone who has felt the unbearable and still knows how to love. And that, I think, is the work of therapy too. Making space for the unbearable and learning how to live around it. Our second question for today comes from Justin in Victoria. Let's have a listen to Justin's question.
I was recently diagnosed with cancer. I'm starting treatment soon, and I'm really scared of what it's going to do to my life, my family, and my career. How's this going to affect my wife and kids? How do I stay strong for them when I'm so scared myself?
Look, Justin, I just want to start by saying that when someone gets diagnosed with cancer, the whole world shifts in a single breath. There's the fear of pain, of treatment, of the unknown, but there's also the heartbreak of imagining how this might ripple through your family, your children, your identity. It's not just your body that's being impacted. It's your sense of control, of certainty of who you are. What I want to say to you is this: you don't have to be strong in the way we often think of it. You don't have to wear a mask of bravery. True strength, real strength, is being able to say, I'm terrified and I'm still going to show up. It's letting your family witness your humanity, not just your heroism. Because what your wife and kids need most right now isn't a version of you that's pretending not to be afraid. They need you, your presence, your honesty, your love, even in the face of fear. I've sat with people in moments just like this, on the brink of treatment, unsure of how life will unfold. And I've learned something sacred. This work has shown me that being a therapist means walking beside people when they're most raw, when the future is foggy, and helping them remember that even in the dark, they are still whole. This work has taught me that there's a kind of beauty and courage in being real. And I want to remind you, your vulnerability doesn't make you weaker. It makes you more deeply human. It invites connection. It builds intimacy. It allows your children to see what grace looks like in the hardest moments. Our last question for today comes from Corinne in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Corinne's question.
My husband has been cheating on me with another woman for years, and it doesn't seem like he intends to stop. He says he loves me, but he also loves her. My heart is broken, but I don't think I can leave. We've been together for such a long time, and I love him. Should I be trying to find peace with this? What do I do?
Corinne, I just want to start by saying that when the person who promised to protect your heart becomes the one who's breaking it over and over, it creates a kind of grief that isn't just about betrayal. It's about the death of a dream, the shattering of safety, the unraveling of who you thought you were inside this relationship. I hear the weight in your words, the years you've invested, the love that still exists, the fear of leaving and the fear of staying. And I want you to know your confusion makes sense. This isn't just a decision about your marriage. It's a reckoning with your self-worth, your boundaries, and your truth. He says he loves you, and he might. But love without integrity wounds. Love without accountability confuses. And love that asks you to settle for less than your value isn't love that honors you. I work with people who find themselves torn between loyalty and loss. And what I've come to understand is this: you don't have to rush to a decision, but you do have to ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to live? What kind of love do I want to model for myself? And if you have children, for them. And I'll say this to you gently: you are allowed to love him, and you're allowed to choose you. You're allowed to be both heartbroken and brave. And you're allowed to rise, not with bitterness, but with clarity about what you will no longer abandon: yourself. And before we finish today, I just want to say something. Grief changes us, not just in how we feel, but in how we see the world, how we love, how we live. If you're in the middle of it right now, please hear this. You are not broken. You are grieving. And the grief, as disorienting as it feels, is a testament to your love, not a weakness in your spirit. There's no right way to grieve, no perfect timeline, no gold star for holding it together. There's only one truth. You keep going, not because it stops hurting, but because you learn to live with the ache. And in time, that ache becomes part of your strength. You are not alone, not in your pain, not in your questions, not in your longing for meaning in the mess. Keep going. You're building a new kind of resilience, one that doesn't pretend it's easy, but dares to show up anyway. Thank you for trusting me to walk beside you today. This episode was one of the hardest I've recorded, and also one of the most necessary. If you're walking through grief, know that I'm walking with you. Until next time, be kind to your heart. It's doing sacred work. That's it for today. And before I go, if you have any burning questions you want answered, send them to novoempowercounselling@gmail.com. Let's navigate this journey together, because better relationships start with understanding. I can't wait to hear from you. You've been listening to Ask a Couples Counselor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. This show is produced by Novo Empower Counselling. We provide a range of services, including couples counselling, individual counselling, and online counselling. To find out more, visit our website novoempowercounselling.com.au. This show was produced with strategy and production support from Wavelength Creative. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a 5-star review. It really helps others find the show. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor, and I'll see you in the next episode.